Public interest defence is an accountability safeguard. The authorities, which wield great power and do it to protect us and keep us safe, on occasion misuse that power, and we have to have some vehicle for airing that in certain tightly defined and limited circumstances.
The Law Commission recommended 2 years ago that there be a public interest defence introduced to offences committed under the Official Secrets Act 1989. And so when we saw the text of the National Security Bill, I think everyone was surprised that it didn't include A, an amendment in substance, and B, a public interest offence. And so it's been a real issue to try and get this onto the table in Parliament. We're now at the Lord's stage, and we're so grateful that Lord Marks was here today to talk about the amendment he's tabled, which also is a public interest offence. And it's received real broad cross-party support.
I'm bound to say that from a political point of view, we have felt that unsurprisingly, the most vocal support we've had has come from journalists concerned with freedom of expression and freedom of journalism, which is undoubtedly seriously threatened by the National Security Bill as it stands and the new offences there. But we've been concerned, and we reflected this in our amendment, to ensure that it wasn't just journalists who needed protection, and that the whole public would get protection, including whistleblowers, people working from organisations and others. I'm very hopeful that if the Labour Party support us, we will win and win handsomely in the Lords. And I'm very hopeful then that the government may listen when it goes back to the Commons. That's always a difficult test, but I know we have valuable support in the Commons as well.
Well, I think this is an opportunity for Parliament and the government to set the balance right between the need for our national security to be maintained and the interests of our country to be protected. Now's the time, I think, to make that reform.
Robert said that the nub of the issue is how do you address concerns that this is a whistleblowing charter or a leakers charter. Alex, how do you think a defence should be drafted to protect against that?
What you can do is make factors which make it objective and make sure that it won't permit a data dumper or some indiscriminate disclosure to rely upon the public interest. So in employment legislation, the Public Interest Disclosure Act prohibits disciplinary action being taken against employees who make protected public interest disclosures. Now, they're not obviously exactly the same situation. Employment is different to OSA, but we've taken factors from that legislation, which works well, modified them and put them into various drafts, and they appear in the current Lord's Amendment tabled by Lord Marks.
It's not just, of course, the subject matter, it's the manner of disclosure. So if somebody wants to make a fast buck, for example, that's not going to be a defence. A personal gain, I think, needs to be put in there, and certainly that was in one of our iterations. That is going to be a very important element of this, which again is designed to deal with the reckless, the incontinent disclosure, dare I say, of certain individuals who think they've got a God-given right to spew out anything onto the internet, irrespective of risk to life and limb. And therefore I think with those safeguards, plus the burden of proof resting on the defendant, which as I've said is Article 6 compliant, I think we've got a defence that passes muster, and a defence that fills the aching void that is there now, which I think leaves judges and juries in a very difficult position, frankly, when it comes to interpreting the issues that might come before them in cases of this nature.
We really need to fix this gaping hole in the law and create a public interest offence for people who commit offences under the Official Secrets Act 1989 and also the new National Security Bill.
Society recognises that we need a safety valve. We need to balance transparency with protecting national security.
I just want to thank the panel, Alex and Robert. We've touched on a lot of issues and it's been absolutely fascinating. Thank you to everyone here for coming this morning. Thanks for enjoying it.